Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and another project. I'm currently sat in the back of it because I'm about to start working on the driver's door. It's a Range Rover L322, 4.4 litre V8, and it comes with a whole heap of problems. As I've just mentioned, driver's door. I locked it one day, went into a shop, came back, unlocked it, and me being stupid and wanted to get out of there quick, because I had other things to do, I pulled the door handle, halfway through it locking, and now the driver's door won't open from the outside. It does from the inside, which is fine. So I'm going to strip the door card off and sort that out. Other problems I've got with it, air suspension. The pump is overheating, so it will level after, like if you sit there and reset the system 5-6 times, take it out for a drive, it will pump itself back up, which is fine. I can live with that for a minute. The system's not leaking anywhere else, other than obviously it weeping from obviously lack of pump being used. So eventually I will get that replaced. I've got a dirt grate nail in the tyre. I'll show you that in a minute. It's got a water leak. When you boot it, it smells of burning oil. I'm putting it down to a breather or something because it smokes under the bonnet, so I'm suggesting that that's what it is. Roof lining, yeah, I'll do something with it eventually, just not now. The DVD player for the sat-nav doesn't work, which I'm not bothered about because I'll put my own aftermarket one in. Plans with this one, I'm probably going to turn it into a towing vehicle because, like I said, I've tried to sell it for probably about 8 or 9 months now and just nobody wants it, probably because of the fact it is a petrol. Which is fine, just means I have a Range Rover to add to my fleet, which is fine. I'm content with that. A couple of little scrapes and dings around the body, nothing too serious, it's pretty clean. It's on 112,000 miles. I put it in storage about 2 months ago. Had it up for sale, yet again I just had silly offers and I just gave up trying to sell it. So by the time I've put my money into it to try and get it up to a standard where it can sell, I'm just going to be out of pocket. So there's just no point. Well, a couple of things I have done since I've bought it back. Like I said, I pumped the air suspension up so it wasn't on the bump stops. In the boot, which I'll show you in a minute, I've rigged some little LED lights up just so I can see what I'm doing in the back, should I be on a recovery or something like that. Yeah, so I can see basically what I'm doing and looking for whatever I'm looking for in the boot. I robbed the battery from this car and shoved it on the BMW. I'll also show you that later as a bit of an update on that one. There's lots of stuff been done to it that hasn't been filmed. It's just been done as and when. Yeah, so the battery, I got another one. I swapped it for 2 tyres, which came off the wheels that you would have seen on the BMW in the last few videos. Well, actually since I've started doing the YouTube channel, because I've now changed the wheels. It's now on the Style 32s. Yeah, again, I'll show you that later. So, 3 battery, topped it up with some water, and I drove it probably, 10-15 miles? Bought it here, dumped it on the drive, and that's where it's going to sit for a while until I've dealt with the tyre, dealt with the water leak. Air suspension, yet again, I'm not too worried about it for a moment, because if it does start to sit a bit low, I can pump it back up again. Doesn't matter. Yeah, and obviously this funny little oil problem, which I will get to, but I just need to source parts and stuff like that and just double check that it is the breather pipes that have gone, which I think it is, because we did change the cam cover gaskets on it and spark plugs and coil packs a while ago, so I might end up doing it again because I think one of them may have gone, which I'm hoping that's what the problem is. Right, we'll get into fixing this door. What I will do is take you for a quick look round it, and you can see, I say I'm sat in the back because I'm about to take the door apart. I took the screws out already. I've just got to take the door panel off, if I can get it off. I've not taken one off on this car before, so this car is completely, I'm just winging it basically for a moment. I know a little bit on it because it is very, very much like the BMW in ways of wiring, the way the car's set up. The engine's pretty much the same, minus the fact it does actually have the Vanos engine, whereas the 7 Series doesn't. Yeah, pretty much everything is the same. It's you got bits robbed out of an E46, bits robbed out of an E38 and an E39. They say that this car was based on the E39 5 Series, when actual fact, I think it's leaning more towards the E38. Just purely on the basis that there's so many similarities, and because of owning an E38, you see the similarities almost immediately. So I'll give you a quick show around the interior. It is a mess because it, like I say, it has literally just come back from storage, and I am playing with little ideas with it at the same time. So here we have, like I said, little bits from E46s. They come out of an E46, quite evidently. It has got the Mark 3, Mark 4 sat-nav unit in it from the BMWs. The clocks and everything are pretty much the same. The heated steering wheel works, which is great. The electronic steering control all works. Most of this car does actually work. Like I say, apart from the stereo is a bit iffy. Sat-nav doesn't work. Air suspension. Oh, the other thing that this thing does do, 10 minutes into driving it, it will go into transmission failsafe. Now, it's not the XYZ switch. It is in actual fact the output shaft sensor. And I know it's not the XYZ switch because I did have to pay over £500 to have it replaced with a genuine Jaguar Land Rover part, even though it should have been BMW Land Rover, technically, at the time. But no, it's... So that was replaced because when I did first buy the car, it did have a hell of an issue with, when you first started it up, just immediate trans failsafe. But that's since been fixed, and I'm happy with that. But I will get another sensor for the gearbox at some point, but I want to do all the underneath stuff in one hit. Just get the basics done, just so that I can mainly get in and out of it without having to wind down the windows and all the rest of it, because it's nothing worse than in wet weather trying to wind the windows down. So we'll get outside and we'll have a quick look. I mean, it is, like I say, a mess in here. I mean, you can even see in the boot that I've been working in there. I'll show you all the lights and stuff in a minute. So, here we go. We'll start off with these horrible wheels. I absolutely hate them. So I do want to get some original ones. So there's my flat tyre. I don't know if I can actually find that might be parked on the screw. I'll run my hand around the tyre and see if I can find it. No, I think it's parked on it, so we won't look at that. So driver's door, obviously, there's literally no... I'm not going to shut it because otherwise I've then got to reach in it and do it again, so I'm not going to bother. Mirrors, they're broke. Well, they work, but they just don't fold in. And if you can see in there, mind the cobwebs. Nope. I should have turned the phone the other way. There you go. There's a little screw just in there holding it so it doesn't flap. It's got the horrible chrome door handles on it. Luckily they're only covers, so I'll take them off, paint them the same colour as the car. Those, I'm undecisive if I'm going to keep them or not. Yeah, again, these wheels are definitely going. Another little issue we've got is this fog light has burnt out inside, even though it does work because somebody's put another bulb in it. There's a little scrape along the front here which all needs doing. Yeah, the water leak. Around the side it is fairly straight. I mean, the paint is in remarkable condition for a car of its year. I mean, there's a little scrape down there which I'm not bothered about. And it was one little dent, sort of, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, sort of there. I'll move the camera backwards forwards, you may see it. Nothing too serious again. It's got the supercharged lights on it. A supercharged badge, even though it's not a supercharged. Much as it goes a lot quicker than my 7 Series. It's just fun telling people it is supercharged, but I will remove the badge. A little bit of damage down here. Yeah, so in the boot, I mean, excuse the horrible window tint, I didn't do this. So what I did in here was, okay, that light's not working. So I've got these little LEDs in here. Those now, I think the battery's a little bit flat. Yeah, I'd say the battery's a bit flat now. I've got the keys to open the door. I know, because all those lights have lit up on the back. But yeah, again, I'll change those for LEDs eventually. As you can see, I did a bit of wiring in here yesterday. Under the bonnet, I'll give you a quick show under there. The other thing that really annoys me about this car, somebody started painting all of the interior trims black, but as you can see, they've not quite finished it. So I will do that at some point. I will get that steering wheel changed as well, because it does look pretty nasty. Excuse the CB radio there, might rig it in at some point. So just leave that ajar like that. The other thing I really don't like these, compared to the 7 Series, is even though they are pretty much the same engine, look at how low it is in the engine bay. I mean, if I put the camera sort of there, you can see my problems with working on it. Now, I think the breather problem is down this side, because I have noticed the smoke does appear from this side and this side. I mean, it is a bit wet down there with oil. I mean, I don't know if you can really see it, but it doesn't look pleasant, so I will be dealing with that pretty quickly. Yeah, again, it looks still wet down there, so I will have to get underneath at some point and have a look. It had a new radiator, new brakes and stuff for its MOT, because it is still MOT'd. I just haven't really bothered to use it. The battery is way too small, but for exchange for a set of old tyres, which there's the old wheels, I thought wasn't too bad. Right, so anyway, we'll get into this. Get this door panel off. I've got my camera mount because it's broken, so I'm just going to have to put you down and pick you back up again every time I've done something, which is annoying, but there we go. So I'm going to get the door panel off, and I'll be back with you once I've started to investigate why I can't open the door from the outside. Okay, right, so the door panel is off, but somebody's had this off before, which is why the door panel always felt a little bit loose. And I've also found out why. So before I get to that, this is the way I've held the airbag, just out of the way, because it was bolted here. So the reason why the door won't open from the outside is the cable is snapped off its little lug, which is here in my hand. So that's going to be a new driver's door cable. Now, the reason I say this is why somebody has been in here and played with it is these. Now, the switch for the door, well, sorry, the switch for the powerful mirrors has never worked. And now I think this is why, is because they've cut it so that, because the mirrors are broken, they've obviously done it so that the mirrors can't then go in and out. Looks like I've got to resolder those so that they work. So I've now got to find where the cables are running to, strip and solder, and then see if I can at least get them to work again. Because I don't understand why people they botch stuff like this. I really don't. So that's left me with a little job to do. So I'm going to find out where the end of the wire is, which I think is somewhere up here, by the look of the sellotape and the electrical tape that they've used. Lovely. I'll take this off as well and just have a little inspection in there. So I should get back to you in a minute once I've stripped all that off. Okay, well, a bit of a fail. I've got the mirror off and I can't find where those wires are going. I've had a look. I've chased the wiring up. So basically I'm looking for where they go. Chased it all the way up here into there. But not in there. I'm not going to strip this mirror down because it is broken, so I'm going to replace it. I'm half tempted to take the passenger door card off and have a look and see if that one's been tampered with, but I'm not going to do that today. There's nothing on the back here, as far as I know. Nope, they're just all plugs. So what I'm going to do is chuck the mirror back on, just to stop any water from getting in it. And we're going to have a look at the 7 Series, I think. It's going to be a very short video this today, but unfortunately, when somebody's botched it the way they have, because I'm also going to have to get some glue to glue all the tabs that have come off that door panel where the previous person's obviously wrenched it, because when I unbolted it, they all just come off. I mean, some of them look like they should be bolted in. Well, that one there should be, and that's the one that I couldn't get the bolt through. So somebody's beforehand has just yanked the panel, because this is all broken down here, if I show you. So that's all broken. I'll try and fix that at some point. But yeah, somebody's made a bit of a mess. So I'm going to do the honourable thing, like I say, chuck the mirror in, I'm going to leave the door panel off, I'm going to close it up, and yeah. It's a bit of a short video on this one today, but unfortunately I can't do anything without any parts. And I shall try and track down some new mirrors at the same time, because yeah, these just aren't ever going to work. So I shall be back with you in a minute once I've shut this thing all up, and yeah, we're going to have a look at the 7. So I thought I'd bring the car somewhere a bit quieter, and yeah, no, that's not happened. Right, so first things first, in the car I have changed the pillar trims here, because originally they were just a solid black. So since then we have gone for wood that just blends into the door and across to the back. Not very exciting, I know. Oh yeah, put a piece of trim back up there. There's a nice cobweb up there. Yeah, so we put pieces of trim up by the rear view mirror because I conveniently forgot on it. Biggest change in here at the moment is actually the stereo. These cars come with DSP, and they are an absolute swine to wire these up. So what we did was we ran our own cables that go into the back of this stereo, and they go into the corners down here, and they're spliced into the original car's wiring. So they're here, here, same on the other side, and down in the footwell behind the light control module. So it's got its own ignition live, and it's got its own constant. So, and it saves all the memory and everything, and I can put the original stuff back in within 10 minutes and there's no problem. I don't have to cut any of my wiring or put any of the wiring that was original back in place. It's all wired in so that I can remove one and put the other back in, which is fine. The only thing that doesn't work is this down here, but I don't care. The only reason I wanted it was purely so I had Bluetooth, and so instead of listening to the same 6 CDs, I can vary my music. Right, it's a bit quiet right here now, so we'll go to the outside of the car. You've probably noticed that there is some wind deflectors on the outside. I'll get out and show you instead of just being lazy. Oh, before I do, also fix the cruise control, because that was a dud. And also, yay! There's finally a working window. That also got fixed up at my friend's. Also, I went on a road trip with this, and absolutely, yeah, I've got no words for it. It was amazing there and back. Amazing doesn't even cut it. It did 400 miles, well, over that actually, on just short of 60 quid, which isn't bad. I mean, it could do with a bit of like a service and stuff like that. So I will do that eventually. Right, let's get outside and show you what's going on. So, obviously you can see it's now on its wheels. Oh, we also fixed the sunroof because the drain plug wasn't actually connected, which wasn't good. I haven't actually cleaned this car, so it does look a bit of a mess. Yeah, there's the Team Heco wind deflectors on it. Yeah, so it's obviously got its style 32s on, which was what we wanted. I don't actually think there's nothing else we've done on the outside apart from literally just change wheels and wind deflectors. The door lock, as you remember before, I couldn't lock it. Well, I could lock it, but then couldn't unlock it, so door's locked. So I can get in and out of it without any problems. So there we are. So there wasn't a lot done to this car. In actual fact, like I say, I road tripped it up to a friend of mine who has quite a few of these cars in varying states, as he puts it. We did a bit of body work on his one. We were going to film most of it, but the problem was we had a bit of a downer at the start of the week that I was up there. We bashed out his arch. I'll drop a video in so you can see it. So basically, yeah, we went to do a bit of body work. His bottom of his rear quarter was going, and the arch was going. I thought this would just be an easy fix. Turns out that half of the inner arch had gone, and as you can see through the video, that it's completely rotted out. So he's off getting that fixed. So instead we did all the other little rust issues on the opposite side of the car. Yet again, it's just pictures, which I'll be dropping them in now. What else is there? Yeah, we did a little bit of work to one of his other cars. We did a water pump. I wasn't going to bother filming that because I'd already filmed it for this one. We just used the video to refer back to it, and because I'd already done it before, it was just as easy. Managed to get exactly the same part as we used for this car from GSF, which was good. It was quite cheap as well. I think it was only like 55 quid or something small like that anyway. So we got that done on his car. Changed a few little bits over, sorted out his interior, because his interior sort of had bits missing here and there. So I bought a load of bits, picked a load of bits up from my parts garage, and took them over to his, and we almost finished his interior. I think there's one or two little bits that are missing that I can't find in my parts bins, so there's not much I can do about that. But his car looks a lot better now, as you can see in the photos. That it's just all the rust is gone. And admittedly, somebody had already been at the arch, well, both arches obviously, and yeah, not done a very nice job. And I did my best with it, with what I had and the time I had. I'd rather have spent another few days on it, but I just didn't have the time. And considering that I was over 400 miles away, well 400 miles there and back, it was a bit of a way to just come home for a weekend and then go back again. So I mean, I will take another trip up there, and we'll try and be a bit more organised with the filming on the next time. So, on the disappointment of the Range Rover biting me in the backside the minute I take the door panel off. I think it's been biting me in the backside for the last year, to be honest, but we'll leave it at that. Yeah, so plans of the Range Rover, like I say, get it up to scratch, get all the mechanical niggles sorted out and all the little bits inside fixed, exterior bits fixed, so it's pretty much as mint as it can be. Then start modifying it ready so that it can be used for towing and maybe even escorts, like escorting lorries, stuff like that. It can be set up for numerous different jobs. I'd rather just put it to work than just see it rot. I say there is another project car coming, but until I've dealt with that Range Rover, there's no way it's coming home, because that is a huge job. So we're getting through the car slowly. As with the 7 Series, there isn't actually a lot to do to this, really. I still got to change the plugs. I mean, I've been keep on and on and on about doing it. I still haven't done it. I know I need a slap on the wrist. So I will get round to doing it. I'm not really using it that much at the moment, so it doesn't really matter. And it's not going long distance, so if it does decide it's going to start sputtering, it does sound a little bit sputtery. I'll just fire it up just so you can see. I don't really think it will pick up on the camera. Just make sure that radio's off so it doesn't start playing any music. So the old YouTube don't do me for it. Oh look, I left my house a quarter of a tank, and yeah, it's a little bit yeah, it doesn't sound 100%. Right, so I'm going to just end the video there. Like, subscribe, do your usual. I know it's a pretty boring video, but I thought I'd update you on this, and at least you know that I've now got another build on the go. Well, not exactly another build, just undoing everybody else's cock-ups. So, I shall catch you in the next one, when hopefully we get a bit further with the Range Rover than we did before. So, until then, I'll catch you soon.